Alrighty, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Empty the Clip podcast. Hope you guys are doing well. As I've been trying to put out more content more consistently, looking at like 2 to 3 videos a week, honing in my skills, talking in front of the camera, talking more clearly into the mic, and just overall improving. I was trying to come up with an idea for today's topic, and I went directly to my DMs on Instagram and TikTok, and I saw a couple questions. So today's topics are going to include diet, specifically the nutrition aspect, and how to portion out your meals, what kind of meals you can be eating, what I eat throughout the day, how many calories I'm consuming a day, and how I think that affects my performance. I'm a big believer in eating to perform, not necessarily aesthetics. Aesthetics are a nice secondary thing, but my primary reason for eating is performance. Another topic we're going to talk about is what kind of split should you be doing? What works for me? What has worked in the past? How have I transitioned from maybe weightlifting to CrossFit and CrossFit back into more Olympic lifting, and what's been going on? So we're going to go through that pretty briefly. I'm going to make this a short one as I have a busy work week to end the week before I head out to Tennessee. So here we go. Specifically getting right into nutrition. I eat about 4 to 6 meals a day. And these meals aren't gargantuan. They are still large, probably about 800 to 1,000 calories a meal. More probably on the 800 side. But for example, I'm just going to give you what I ate today, for example. I ate 4 eggs and about a little bit over a cup of sweet potatoes that were diced up, cooked in the oven, sprinkled with some olive oil, salt, pepper. Cooked for like 40 minutes, nice and soft, just good bites of sweet potato. Then I had a perfect bar before I had lunch number 1, and for lunch number 1 I had about 4 strips of the chicken tenderloins, so it's probably about 2 chicken breasts with watermelon. And then I had for lunch number 2, I ate leftover carne asada steak, a pretty healthy large portion of that, with some strawberries and grapes. So again, we're going with fruit. I like to eat a lot of fruits and sweet potatoes in the morning and through my lunches. I feel like it provides me a good, clean energy. I'm not big on the grains until late at night. I don't snack on some popcorn or a bagel or English muffin until the later parts of the evening and nighttime before bed, because those make me quite drowsy. So I really try to portion that out and stick to my fruits and my sweet potatoes in the morning. And then maybe sometimes I'll eat some oatmeal, but that's from time to time. So getting into the pre-workout meal. So we've had breakfast, snack, 2 lunches, all about, again, probably more on the 700 cal to 1,000 calorie side of things. So if I'm going to work out, I get done at 4:30. I eat again at like 3:30, a small portion of oatmeal, about half a cup to a quarter cup, anywhere in between there. A very small portion, water, cook that in the microwave for like 45 seconds to a minute, add honey, maybe a little bit of protein powder if I feel like I'm lacking or my body just feels a little lagged out from the morning session, or work in general, and I'll eat that. Or I'll eat a Fuel for Fire, which is a nice little protein smoothie, which again is a fruit-based smoothie with whey protein added in. A few basic ingredients. Great product if you guys want to check them out. Hashtag not sponsored. That's a Fuel for Fire. Great flavors. Favorite is definitely the strawberry banana. Goated. And that'll be my pre-workout meal. And then sometimes when I'm at the gym, I'll pack a banana or apple to eat either right before a workout or after a workout. That'll be like my little refuel area. Sometimes I'll pack some nuts, almonds or peanuts, sometimes pistachios. Pistachios are a little bit expensive, so it's more on the peanut grind at the moment, and almonds are a little bit more inexpensive to consume per pound. And then post-workout, when I come home, it is dinner, and that's probably well over 1,000 calories, because either I'll eat 1 or 2 big servings. Typically, let's see, today was salmon, a big heaping slab that I cooked up and chopped into about 4, probably 5 to 6 ounce portions, because it was 2.5 pounds of salmon. That's with the skin on it. you can't get everything out of it. So once also the fat renders out of it, it's cooked, it's probably a little bit over 2 pounds in total, but I couldn't get off all the meat. So we're probably looking at, let's see, 16 ounces, 32 ounces of salmon. I probably pulled off 30, divide that by 4, and we have, what, 7-ounce portions, 7.5-ounce portions of salmon, and there's 4 of them. So I ate 1. And then with that, I had grapes and some cherries. And that is my main meals throughout the day. And sometimes throughout those 4 or 5 meals, I will also sneak in maybe an extra serving of fruit somewhere or a handful of nuts in between the lunches or after the lunch before the pre-workout meal, typically. If I'm having a very large training day. Excuse me. It's 11:30. I'm a little tired, so I'm sorry for that little yawn right there for everyone listening on headphones. And then, so that's the dinner, the salmon with the fruit. And then after I get done recording this podcast, I'm going to take in a protein shake. I'm going to do 1 scoop of whey protein and then add some whole milk in there. I'm trying to pack on calories as I feel like I'm under eating. I felt really sluggish and like depleted. I keep getting more cut, which sounds great for the summer. I'm more lean, more vascular, which is amazing, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to gain strength. And in the process, I feel like I've put on more muscle, but that muscle, again, ups the metabolic rate, meaning you're going to burn more calories naturally as you put on more muscle because you got to feed the muscle to have it function and survive. So I need to keep increasing my calorie intake, which isn't all bad because I do love eating, but it is a lot of food. So then, tonight I'll have 1 scoop of protein, a large helping of milk, maybe a scoop and a half of protein with that whole milk. So I don't know how much whole milk is, but it's probably 250 calories from the whole milk because I pour a large glass and then 100 to 150 calories of the protein. So again, that's like what did I say? 250 plus another 100, 400 calories there. So yeah, we're looking at topping off at probably well above 3,500. I can't do the math in my head right now, but it's like 38 to probably 4,000 calories a day that I'm eating currently. So that's just a general gist and plan that you guys can follow. Some people, and I'm open to people doing keto, vegan diets, pescatarian, whatever have you. Some people can function more on certain type of diets. I would definitely talk to your doctor about this before you begin this. Do not take my advice, but I'm just saying there may be a more optimal solution for eating that works better for you. Maybe you just need 3 large meals throughout the day, and that works. Maybe you're a grazer and you just snack and you eat like 6, 7 really mini meals throughout the day. But if you're an athlete that trains like myself, 3+ hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, you probably do need to be eating 4 or 5 meals. Questions I get from people's DMs is how can I eat so much throughout the day? I feel like I get so full. Well, you may need to wake up earlier or stay up later in order to squeeze those calories in. Granted, I wake up around 5:30, 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock, and I probably don't go to bed till 1. I know it's not good. Sleep is very important, but I'm saying it's a way to help me get more calories in throughout my days. So that's my little tidbit on nutrition. I think the best way to stay on track is to use your weekends appropriately to meal prep, go to the grocery store and get groceries. It's a hassle. It's a burden a little bit. But if you prepare your meals in advance, so all you have to do is do the cooking, or if you already cook the meals and have everything meal prepped, I know it's not the most sexy thing to do, but if you have protein, a carbohydrate, and a fat, and or a veggie, you're golden. If you can do those for like 4 to 6, maybe 8 to 12 meals, you're good for 3 or 4 days, and you can survive, and you know that it's already made. Maybe you eat out once or twice a week. It's not the worst thing in the world, and then you have your meals for the entire week. Again, that's not including the snacks that you could eat in between, but there are, probably 3 to 4 days definitely of meals that you can prepare. And especially if you're on like a keto diet or the intermittent fasting, you can vary that and modify that as well to your liking. But that's my 2 cents on nutrition. Take it for what it is. I'm no nutritionist, but I'm just talking from experience of what's worked for me. The most energy I've had is from eating super clean foods, cutting out cheat meals as much as possible, no alcohol, and like literally I think it's almost been probably a year since I've drank. Yeah, I think it's been over a year actually now, since last July. Since it was my stepsister's birthday. Yeah, it's been about a year. have not drank alcohol. I've been the best performance-wise in my life. I feel like I have this little knee injury, 1, because I didn't eat enough, 2, recovery, and 3, just a little bit too much overtraining in the lower body department. So I always recommend for new athletes who are trying to gain muscle and are trying to up their training, eat more. So finally, let's get into how you should train. That's another question I get. A lot of people are into the push-pull legs combination. So for those of viewers and listeners that don't know, pushing is going to be the upper body pushing motions, pressing motions, and then on a pull day, which would be, say, Monday you do pressing, and then Tuesday you do pulling, so that would be like your rowing, pull-ups, maybe a little bit of deadlift action, you're pulling from the ground, that kind of thing, and then leg day, classic, squats, leg extension, leg curl machines, side lunge, goblet squats, Bulgarian, leg destroying split squats, and then maybe a rest day, and then you repeat it again, where maybe you go, push pull on the same day. So let's go Monday push, Tuesday pull, Wednesday legs, Thursday could be like an active recovery or rest day, or you could jump right into again that push pull legs again, rest on Sunday, and just keep repeating that. Or you could do something where it's like push Monday, pull Tuesday, legs Wednesday, active recovery Thursday, full body push pull Friday, legs Saturday, off day Sunday. That's another way you could stack it. I think that's what I did throughout high school when I was getting into the whole bodybuilding and weightlifting thing. The programming itself was bad, but like the way I stacked everything out, meaning exercise-wise, I think was appropriate for my body. But the actual physical weights that I was doing was not enough to see progress. I just didn't know what I was doing at the time. But those kind of days where I was push-pull and legs, I think fit well. So I did not get injured. I gained muscle very slowly. But there's some things I would definitely correct and change. Other people who may be getting into CrossFit, I always recommend having a really good base. Everyone wants to know, where can I start? I feel like I'm so out of shape in comparison. Don't worry, there's a lot of people that really do CrossFit a lot and they still suck at it. So don't feel too bad. The basics: pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, lunges. You need to understand those fundamentals and have a great foundational movement pattern before you can start doing heavy squats, thrusters, snatches, clean and jerk. I would say learn those with the lightest weight possible, even stripping it down to a PVC pipe if necessary. And do not be scared to learn the basics and start slow and scale things. You don't need to go full send on your first CrossFit workout, but I encourage you to practice as much as possible so you can fall in love with the sport. And there are elements of CrossFit that are lacking. I feel like there's not addressing enough core in CrossFit. Unless you follow Mayhem Freedom Programming, I think they do an excellent job of working in the core. But most CrossFit gyms, and something I feel like I struggled with when I first started CrossFit, is not building the core and the posterior chain enough. Another thing too is the importance of progressive overload. So, somebody who's not used to doing kipping pull-ups, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's a big knock on CrossFit. But if you're not used to doing 80 kipping pull-ups, you probably need to do what is known as ring rows, or you can do banded assisted pull-ups. That's a good scale option for people who are trying to get into CrossFit, because the gymnastics part of thing is a lot of kipping, hard on the shoulders, high intensity movements. I guess you could qualify as gymnastics movements, but it's a very interesting part of the sport that gets a lot of flack. But yeah, I think you guys should give it a shot if you can. And then transitioning for me, especially into more of the Olympic style stuff. If you want to get stronger, you need to do less cardio. That's another thing. People always talk about strength. I'm doing so much outside of it. I'm playing 3 sports, I'm running, and I'm trying to build muscle and build strength. You don't have enough calories in your body because you're growing and developing to be able to do all of that. You have to kind of pick a domain. Ever since I but doing way less cardio, my strength numbers are slowly going up. Granted, I got this little nick on my knee, so I didn't actually get to retest my lower body, but my upper body feels super strong, and I'm confident pressing overhead, and I'm excited to see where the strength gains go from here. I feel like I'm more muscular. So yeah, I think cutting out cardio, not completely, but I was doing cardio 5 days a week. Now I'm doing it like 1 to 2 days a week. I think I'm seeing massive improvements. And also too, I think that anybody out there who is just starting in the gym in general, a couple other DM questions I get is where to start. I would suggest watching as much YouTube as you can from the Mind Pump guys. They have a great show that gives you a bunch of basic information. They answer a ton of questions, and they have a free website that gives you all the basics. I would not come to me if you're a newbie, but you can always ask questions. I can give you some insight there, but seriously, go check out Mind Pump, featuring Sal, Justin, and Andrew. Those guys are fantastic, so that's a good place to start. And continue to give yourself knowledge about weightlifting, because I don't have all the answers. I'm only 23, but those guys are experienced veterans, and I highly recommend them. So that's my 2 cents on nutrition and programming for yourself and how to figure out a little bit about the CrossFit space. This episode went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, so if you're still here, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.